Women want to be equal. And believe me when I tell you, women have proved here that they are equal. They have absolutely proven themselves, and people love the women's fights. These women become big stars.
Yeah, of course, I think Dakota is a big name they're looking to get drawn against. She, having been the UK champion, I'm definitely excited to face her, and I think that she's a name that's starting to rise up through the ranks that people are knowing. So ultimately, facing her at some point, ideally in the finals, would really be exciting.
Yeah, I think that's a great fight to happen. I think she's called for it, the fans called for it. You can see it across Twitter where we're saying, like, one of the dream fights they want to see is White House, myself, and Dakota. And that's a huge bucket list item to be able to do, like, fight in front of the president in the White House. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? And I think that Dakota and I both have the skills and the excitement to bring it, to showcase everything everybody wants to see and make that the fight.
Stop everything. Liz Carmouche just sent a FCKING brutal warning to Dakota Ditcheva, and Dana White himself backed it up with a message that shook the MMA world. She'll FCKING kill you. This isn't hype. This isn't trash talk. This is war between a veteran legend and the most dangerous undefeated prospect in women's MMA. Fresh off her 2025 PFL tournament victory, Liz Carmouche didn't call out easy fights. She didn't ask for a payday. She called for a fucking super fight. Dakota Ditcheva at 135 pounds. Her exact message? Clear and cold, Dakota. When you're healthy, I want you. No excuses. No hesitation. Liz Carmouche wants the monster. And she didn't sugarcoat it either. Carmouche dropped the bombshell. I'll break your hype. I'll end the streak. To the undefeated violent Cinderella 15-0-10 savage finishes. Carmouche basically said, you're next, and you won't survive me. That's not just a challenge. That's a fucking death sentence in MMA language.
Do if one of your athletes comes out and says they're gay, then they're gay.
And then came Dana White, the UFC boss, a man who knows violence when he sees it, praised Liz Carmouche for her bravery, her legacy, and her history. As the UFC's first openly gay fighter, Dana's words? Brutal. He said he loves what Carmouche did, but then he dropped the hammer on Dakota. She'll FCKING kill you. Think about that. The UFC president just warned the most hyped woman outside the UFC that Liz Carmouche might be her executioner. Why this is so controversial, this isn't just a call-out. It's a clash of generations, of legacies, and of power. On one side, Liz Carmouche, UFC pioneer, Bellator champion, PFL tournament winner. A fighter who's been through absolute wars with Ronda Rousey, Valentina Shevchenko, and countless killers on the other. Dakota Ditcheva, undefeated finishing machine, destroyer of divisions. Liz Carmouche isn't just challenging Dakota. She's telling the world, your hype is fake. I'll break it. I'll kill it.
Come on in. We're ready.
Powers. Powers.
Dakota Ditcheva has been called the next Amanda Nunes, the next cyborg. Some even say she's already more violent than Shevchenko or Grasso. But Liz Carmouche doesn't care. At 40 years old, she's seen it all, fought them all, and now she's telling the PFL, give me Dakota, give me the nightmare. I'll break the monster before she gets bigger. That's fucking insane or legendary bravery. Here's why this fight is terrifying. If Carmouche loses, she hands her legacy to Dakota Ditcheva on a silver platter. But if Carmouche wins, she becomes the first woman to expose Dakota, the first to prove the hype. Train isn't unstoppable. Either way, someone's career changes forever. And don't forget, Dana White is watching. Amanda Nunes is gone. Valentina Shevchenko is slowing down. Alexa Grasso is unproven. Erin Blanchfield is still young. Meanwhile, Dakota Ditcheva is murdering people in the PFL. And now, Liz Carmouche is stepping up to stop her before Dana White is forced to sign her. Is Liz Carmouche about to do the impossible and break the hype? Or is she just the next body on Dakota Ditcheva's kill list? Because one thing is clear, Dana White just sent a message, and it's fucking terrifying. Dakota Liz Carmouche will kill you. And if this fight happens, nobody survives.
Your headline, I think that'd be amazing. I think when Dakota's healthy, I would love a chance to be able to fight Dakota. One of the dream fights I want to see is White House, myself, and Dakota. And that's a huge bucket list item to be able to do, like fight in front of the president in the White House. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? And I think that Dakota and I both have the skills and the excitement to bring it, to showcase everything everybody wants to see and make that the fight people see.
She could start asserting some dominance on this round, in my opinion. Oh, left hand, big ass. Bishop's in bed. Stop. And Liz Carmouche pounds out a world tournament victory.
Liz Carmouche just dropped a fucking bombshell at PFL World Tournament 9. Fresh off her brutal TKO win, the 41-year-old veteran grabbed the mic and called out none other than Dakota Ditcheva, the undefeated golden girl of the PFL. And she didn't stop there. Carmouche demanded the PFL open a brand new women's bantamweight division just so she can headline a super fight against Dakota at 135 pounds. This is massive. A 41-year-old legend calling out the undefeated PFL star who everyone thinks is the future of women's MMA. First, let's break down what happened inside that cage. Carmouche went to war with Gina Bishop, and while the early rounds weren't easy, Bishop nearly tapped her with multiple submissions. Liz dug deep and did what legends do. She cracked Bishop with a vicious counter left hook in round 3, dropped her like a stone, and finished with ground and pound. That finish not only gave Carmouche the 2025 PFL Women's Flyweight Tournament title, but also a fat $500,000 prize check. And here's the crazy part. Liz is now on a 3-fight win streak, 12-1 since leaving the UFC, and still adding belts to her resume at 41 years old. But it wasn't the knockout that shook the MMA world, it was the call-out. Liz said straight up she wants the PFL to open a bantamweight division at 135 pounds. And who does she want as her first fight? Dakota fucking Ditcheva. Think about this. Carmouche is a former UFC title challenger, the last ever Bellator flyweight champion, and now a PFL tournament winner. She's already fought the best of her generation, but instead of coasting, she's coming for the next big thing, Dakota. This is pure chaos, because Dakota is undefeated, 12-0, and being hyped as the PFL's version of Valentina Shevchenko. Here's where the controversy kicks in. On one hand, Carmouche is 41 years old, but she's on the best run of her career. On the other, Dakota is in her absolute prime, a killer striker with highlight reel knockouts that have fans comparing her to Amanda Nunes and Valentina. Is Liz chasing greatness? Or is she setting herself up to be fed to the younger lion?
The PFL has really gone behind your teammate, Dakota Ditcheva. First off, what do you think of her performances so far this year?
Oh, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
And remember, Kayla Harrison has already said Dakota would kill Valentina Shevchenko in 15 seconds. Now, Carmouche is basically volunteering to step into that fire. If this fight happens at 135, it could redefine the women's game, but it could also get ugly fast. Let's not forget, Liz Carmouche is already a trailblazer. First woman to ever fight in the UFC back in 2013, against Ronda Rousey, former Bellator champ with 3 title defenses. And now a PFL tournament winner with $500,000 in the bank. She's fought the legends, but calling out Dakota shows she's not just living in the past, she wants to take down the future. That's legacy talk, that's GOAT talk. But for Dakota, this is also a gift. Imagine headlining against Carmouche, beating her, and cementing herself as the star that carries the PFL women's divisions forward. Liz Carmouche dropped a bombshell at PFL World Tournament 9, and now the ball is in Dakota Ditcheva's court. Will the PFL make this super fight at 135 pounds? Will Dakota accept the challenge? Or will Carmouche's legendary run finally meet the brick wall of an undefeated monster? One thing's for sure, this is the fight nobody saw coming, but now everyone wants to see. Drop your thoughts below. Does Liz Carmouche have a real shot? Or will Dakota run straight through her like everyone else? Make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned because this story is only getting crazier. Dakota Ditch-freaking-Eva just dropped the truth bomb nobody saw coming, crying in the cage after another dominant win. And no, it wasn't joy, it was frustration, it was pain. And it was a warning to the UFC. I'm stuck.
Even though I look up to her a lot, I still want to be in her position and be able to beat someone like her. So.
You could fight any female right now. Who would you want to go with?
Valentina Shevchenko right now. I want to be at the top.
This is legacy versus legacy to be. Valentina is one of the most well-rounded fighters in MMA history. She reads opponents like code, downloads your game in real time, and exploits the first bug she finds. Dakota? She's got that unorthodox rhythmic striking that could actually throw Valentina off early. Long knees, feints, switch kicks from odd angles. But here's where Reggie gets real. Dakota still needs more 5-round reps. Her pace can dip late, and Valentina is the queen of championship round adjustments. Still, imagine a fully dialed in Dakota with sharpened counter wrestling and championship caliber cardio on point. If she dethrones Shevchenko, especially by spectacular knockout, it wouldn't just be an upset. It would catapult Dakota into instant superstardom and turn her into a household name overnight. We're talking late show appearances, global endorsements, the works. That's the rocket ship moment everyone's waiting on, and it would stamp her GOAT application in permanent ink.
Dakota Ditcheva, 15 wins, 0 losses. One of the most exciting undefeated killers in MMA. She just beat Sumiko Inaba at PFL Africa with style, power, and absolute control. But instead of celebrating, Dakota was in tears. I think I've injured my left hand. I'm more gutted because I've been out for so long and I'm injured again. You could see it in her eyes. Dakota didn't just break her hand, she broke inside. This was supposed to be her return, her moment. Instead, she's left with pain, a damaged hand, and more time on the shelf. And let's talk facts. Fans have been begging for Dakota in the UFC. Laura Sanko called her the violent Cinderella who could rescue the entire women's division. But now, it looks like the UFC just got ghosted.
When you come back, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, I have just re-signed with PFL. We've come to a great...
That's right. She didn't jump ship. She doubled down. Dakota just re-signed with the PFL in what she calls a great agreement. But what some fans are calling a shackle 15-0. Global fan base highlight reel knockouts and still no octagon debut. Is this about loyalty or money? Is the UFC ignoring her? Or did PFL back up the BRINKS truck?
She's never won a belt, as she said. Like, she's not a complete fighter, is she? I'm not a complete fighter. She definitely isn't either, so... But whatever.
Let's not forget, Dakota destroyed Tyla Santos in November 2024, a UFC vet, KO'd like she didn't belong. And then she disappeared, out for months with injuries. Just as the hype was peaking, now, back again, same story. Another injury, another delay. And fans are starting to wonder, is dangerous Dakota cursed? But maybe this is all part of the play. PFL has the dollars. Dakota has the look, the record, the killer instinct. Could she become the face of PFL? Could she bring more heat than Harrison, more damage than Cyborg? She wants to build her kingdom her way. But make no mistake, if Dakota keeps getting hurt, and if the UFC door stays shut, this might go down as the biggest what if in women's MMA. Dakota Ditcheva just cried in victory. She just re-signed with the company that isn't giving her the UFC stage. And she just warned the world this injury might keep her out again. But when she's back, she's not coming to compete. She's coming to kill, and Dana White better be ready, because the violent Cinderella doesn't want a glass slipper. She wants blood.
Because there's one name that I am dying to see in the UFC, and that's Dakota Ditcheva.
What a fighter.
Yeah.
What a fighter.
Talk about the women's
Can you imagine her
division needing a superstar, and talk about a perfectly packaged, talented, gorgeous, eloquent, respectful, good, like literally checks every single box, and she's right there. And she
I'm here with a dangerous Dakota Ditcheva. First question I have to ask, how's the left hand? We saw you shaking it out in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, I think I've injured my left arm, but I think I'm just more gutted because I've been out for so long and then I've come back and I'm injured again. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Thank you so much.
This crowd behind you from start to finish, how did that feel, especially in that third round when you were hurting?
Guys, I just want to say that was the best walkout I've ever had, so thank you so much.
Before we get you in the back, I have to know, what does the future hold for you? I know you have to heal